Hey, and we're live. Good day. I am Coach Jan, and we are going to stretch. So, first off, I would like to know, where are you most tight? Hey, Amber, how are you? What is it that you would like to stretch? I know that most of us are tight through our hips, in the hamstrings, through the shoulders, the neck. So I would like some feedback on what you'd like to stretch. Let me know. So let's first start off with the neck, because I know that that's where I'm tight. So I'm going to turn on some music to set the mood. And we'll go ahead and start. So I'm just sitting cross-legged. You can sit or you can stand, however is comfortable for you. We're just going to start with some nice stretching through the neck. I'm going to turn on some, looking through my YouTube, going to turn on feel-good music. That sounds good. Okay. Hello. So first off, I just want you to lift your head up high. Hold on to your shoulder right here. Like, I'm just tapping it. I have my chest open, and I want you to bring your head to the side. So tapping your shoulder like this and kind of pulling it down really helps to lengthen all the way through these muscles right here. Good. Now I just want you to tilt your head forward and back just ever so slightly. So we're stretching all of those fibers right here. All right, good. Now what you're going to do, keep your head here. I want you to turn it down to the side and then look up. And notice I'm not making it very big. I'm just gazing down and gazing up slightly. Let's do two more, just like that. Good. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. How does that feel? Nice length through the side. Okay, again, open through the chest, tapping down through your shoulder. Bring your head to the side. Again, trying to get as much length as you can from your shoulder on up through your ear. So stretching, it kind of goes without being said, but it's all about length. So if you think about the muscles in between the bones, you're like pulling the joints as far away from each other as you can to get the best stretch. All right, let's go ahead and kind of bring the head forward and back. Not forcing anything, just small movements back and forth. All right, now turn it down and up, ever so slightly. Still keeping the chest open, the shoulder down and back. All right, good. Doesn't that feel delicious? Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to lace my fingers together and place them behind my head, and I'm not jamming my chin down into my chest. What I'm doing is creating a little bit of pressure, just letting gravity take my head down. We're stretching those muscles through the back of the neck, where we often get tight from bad posture. So stretching and having good muscular balance has a lot to do with posture. So let me just show you this really quick. How many of you are on a computer all the time or on your phone all the time? And you just have this kind of posture where the chest is forward and the head is forward. So look, when you do that, can you see how that really shortens this distance right here? So the more we can lengthen that, that's what we're doing right now. So tuck your chin and lengthen toward the back of your neck. Just relaxing, letting gravity take you down. Now what we're going to do is just a little tilt from side to side while you're looking down. So simple. Just side to side. Not jamming anything, just moving through that range of motion. Let's do two more. All right. How do you guys feel? Does your neck feel looser? Do you feel a little taller? Okay, now let's move on and stretch a little bit more through the shoulders. So I want you to take your arm across, and we're just gonna bring the shoulder down and up. So getting a stretch through these deltoids right here, through your tricep, even through your back. Okay, so bringing it down and up. And the reason we're moving while we're stretching is because we're trying to move through that range of motion, getting all those fibers here. Okay. Good, last one. All right, let's take the other side. Coming down and up. So let me know in the chat, anything else that you feel like you need to stretch, any questions that you may have, let me know. Because we've got so many muscles. There are over 200 muscles in your body. And they all need to have proper length for your good well-being and for your posture. So that's that. Let's stretch a little bit through the chest. So I'm gonna pull this up right here, and I'm just gonna show you over the wall. Let's see, is that the best way to show you? So hold on. I'm just gonna come over here. This is my favorite chest stretch. So I'm against the wall. My elbow's up at about a 90-degree angle here. Pressing your shoulder against the wall, you're going to turn away. Okay, so just hold this with your elbow down, pressing your shoulder down and into the wall, stretching through these pec muscles underneath your shoulders. Underneath your armpit. All right, let's do the other side. So elbow up against the wall. You can't really see me on this side. But for those of you who are just joining, you've got your arm at a 90-degree angle, you're pressing your shoulder in and you're twisting away. It's important that you keep your shoulder down for the best stretch. How you doing? It's like I'm putting out the vibe here. All right, that's a nice stretch through the chest. Excellent. And we'll do some more stretches down on the floor with the chest, because that's another place where we get really tight. So Rebecca, you want tight upper glutes and SI joint issues. That's where I need stretching all the time, so we'll do that for sure. Okay, we're just moving on down the body. So we've done the chest, the upper back. Let's do the upper back. So child's pose is great for that, but we modify it a little bit to get more in the upper back. So if you're not familiar, child's pose is where you're bringing your bottom down and you're reaching forwards. And a good way to stretch all through your spine is you make more of a shell stretch. So you're pulling away from the floor and rounding as much as you can. So not flattening, but rounding. Okay, do you feel that? And you can even do a little bit of motion from side to side. Stretching through all of those back muscles. Good. And then as you come lower, you'll stretch lower through your back. Good. Another great way to do that stretch is the cat-cow stretch. So articulating through your spine. So you're here on your hands and knees. Your hands are below your shoulders, knees are below your hips. You sink down into a cow stretch. So just to show you, you're extending as much as you can through your spine. And then you come up into a cow stretch, pulling your shoulder blades apart. Then let your shoulder blades come back together. This will stretch through your chest and through your back. And then as you pull up, you stretch through your upper back as you pull your shoulder blades apart. Good. Let's do that one more time. All right, good. How does that feel? Hamstrings are always tight. Okay, we'll stretch through the hamstrings too because they're tight on everybody. Okay, so let's move down. Well, a lot of times when you're doing biceps, a lot of people don't know how to stretch their biceps. So let me show you this really quick. I'm hyperextended through my elbow, but let me just show you that anybody can get a good stretch here. So I take my fingers like this, and I push down and try to push my biceps forward, and you should feel a stretch through there. Can you all feel a stretch? Because it's hard to stretch those muscles there without any sort of like manipulation. So here's a good stretch right there. Kind of want to dance at the same time. I can never really stay still. How about you guys? Not a bad quality. And I even feel this through my forearms. So let's do the other side. So pressing forward as you pull your fingers back. Not jamming into the elbow, it's more of a lengthening feeling. Okay, good. Now let's stretch through your sides of your torso. This is probably one of my favorite stretches. So I'm gonna do this so we can do this standing. So let's see. I'm gonna have to do this and scoot back a little bit more. Okay, so I like to reach up and over to the side. So I've got my knee is above my heel here, and then I stretch over as best as I can. And you want to think of from your heel up all the way over, so you get to stretch all the way through the side here. If you want to take it deeper, I like to reach down towards the floor. This is a yoga pose, just stretching all the way through your side here. Take some deep breaths. Good, let's do the other side. So twisting a little bit, bringing your elbow down, coming up and over, reaching through your fingertips, maybe even over a little bit more. The more you can lift up through your hip and through your rib cage, the more of a stretch it will be. And let's bring it down a little bit for a deeper stretch. All right, and come up. Good, so that's one of my favorite side stretches. Another one, this is really basic. You lift up through your arms, grab onto your wrist, reach up, and press out through your hip as you stretch to the side. Whew. This is a great stretch. And you may not be able to go very far. It may look like this for you. It doesn't matter what you look like, okay? Just as with dance fitness, it doesn't matter what it looks like, it matters what's best for your body. Stretching is not about how big you can make it, it's about what's appropriate for your body. So let's do the other side. Reach up, grab onto your wrist, up and over to the side. If you want a little bit deeper, you just bring your legs a little bit wider. That will give you some more range of motion. Good, and up. It's so important to keep your stomach in tight so you're not hyperextending through your back. But that's how we stretch through the side. Okay, so I think we've done a pretty good job stretching through the upper body. What do you think? Upper body good? Okay, let's get into the hips, into the lower back. So this is one of my favorite stretches through the hips. You can do this standing. I'll show you two ways to do it. So I like to call this the 4 stretch, where it's kind of like a pigeon pose in yoga. So you cross your leg over the other, and you sit back. Woo, we gotta have balance first. Hold on. Okay, so sitting back and bringing your arms forward, and the more you can sit back, the better a stretch it will be. Sometimes I like to do this against the wall. Can you see me? So let's all do this against the wall, just so we're not worrying about balance and we can settle more into the stretch. So cross one leg over the other, sit back. Woo, yes, good. Stick that booty out. The more you can stick it out, the more of a stretch it will be. And again, I like to kind of lift up and down, working through all those fibers in that range of motion. Good. So when you're doing this, you want to keep your hips level. A lot of people will sag through their hips. You're not getting much of a stretch there. So tilt your pelvis back to neutral and push back. Okay? Let's take that same stretch down to the floor. So we'll work on the same leg, same side. Good. I'm glad that's helpful. Okay. So here's another way to do it. So cross one leg over the other so you're making a 4. Hold back. So for me, I don't get as deep of a stretch here, but if you're just so dang tired and you want to stretch, this is another good way to do it. On the floor. And you can also bring your arm out and come side to side, and that will stretch different fibers, especially as you come to the side. That really lengthens here through the butte. Let's do one more. Woo! Man, I need this. Good. Yes. Okay, let's go back against the wall and do the other leg. Okay. So crossing one leg over the other. I've got my ankle just right above my knee. And scooch back a little bit and then sit back, pressing your hands against the wall so you can get your booty back. Again, keeping your hips level. You don't want to sag. Really press back through your tailbone. Even a little arch through your spine. So you're not rounding. That won't give you much of a stretch. Extend through your spine. Kind of rock back and forth a little bit. Woo! Okay, let's take this same stretch down to the floor. Okay, so same leg, crossing that one leg over the other. Pull back. Woo! Let's go ahead and bring this arm out for stability. And rock back and forth. Oh yeah, my butt is tight. Good, let's do this 2 more times. I'm just gonna hold this. Hey, great. How does that feel? Good? Let's do another stretch on the side. So expanding a little bit more through the chest and getting a twist through the spine. We haven't done a whole lot of twisting yet. So this feels really nice. So I'm going to scooch back a little bit. And I'm going to have my arms out to the side, palms open. That'll help to keep the shoulders back. And we're just going to come side, exhale up to side. You might even get a little bit of crackling. It's really important that you engage through your stomach, keeping your stomach in tight to support your back. We don't want to injure ourselves. That's no good. So stomach in tight for support. Okay, let's go ahead and come all the way over to the side. Now we're going to stretch a little bit more through the upper back, through the thoracic spine, if you will, coming up. And then looking out, coming up, and then coming back together. Come up, open out, up, and let's do that one more time. Okay, now let's stretch more through the chest. We're going to bring our arm up over our head, and then out. Kind of like you're making a half snow angel. Up, and then hands back together. The more you can keep your hand heavy, the more of a stretch it will be. And notice I'm not moving my knees. I'm not opening up like this. I'm trying to pull down so you get opposition through your stretch. All right, good. Let's do the other side. So holding it onto the side, knees together, come up, expand out, up, and back together. Up, expand out. Again, don't let the knees move, don't let the hips move. I'll show you, a lot of people do this, and they'll open up like this. That's limiting your stretch. So if you can keep your knees together, you'll get the better stretch. Let's do 2 more. This is a great place to breathe, to relax. Now let's keep the hand down and do a half snow angel. Ooh, ow. My shoulder doesn't like that because it's so tight. So you don't have to keep your hand onto the ground. A little hover might be more appropriate for your tightness or for your range of motion. So that's what I'm going to do. Lift my arm a little bit because I'm tight through my shoulder. Notice it's getting better with each time because I'm stretching it out. Good. I'm going to do one more. Get better each time. It's great. All right. Good. How do you feel? Okay, so let's do another stretch through the SI area because a lot of people are tight through that lower back, and I noticed that Rebecca asked for that. So I like to hold on to like a doorknob or a counter or something stable, something that's not going to move if you pull back on it. I've got nothing here to show you. Let's see, I'm going to tilt this back and going to move this plant out of the way. Okay, so I've got my door handle here. It's stable. Make sure that it doesn't open on you. And you want to pull back and open up through your shoulder and then twist to the other side. So really opening up through your hips and through your armpit and then switching to the other side. So pulling away is lengthening through your spine. Good. So that's that. Okay, let's stretch through the hamstrings. So let's just start on the ground, pulling the knees into the chest. So first we're just going to work through the ball and socket joint of the hips. So opening out and in. And I want you to circle through your hips. And let's circle the other way. So just moving through the ball and socket joint, thinking about your femur, your thigh bone in comparison to your pelvis. Okay, now I want you to extend your left leg out. If that's too much of a stretch, you can always bend your knee because you want to keep your pelvis still. We're going to extend the right leg up to the ceiling as best as you can. And I'm pretty flexible. Like I can pull my legs further back, but you hold on where you can. If you're not very flexible, go ahead and hold on to your thigh. Wherever it be, you want to try to keep your legs straight. Okay? So gradually try to pull your leg in closer to you without letting your pelvis move. So I'll show you a cheat that a lot of people do. A lot of people will come up onto their toe. You see how I'm lifting my pelvis off the ground? Woo, I can get my leg closer. But that's not what it's about. Because by comparison of, so let me just show you the muscle attachment here. So here's my butt. The muscle attaches here, down on like your sit bones, and comes on up. So you want to have this lengthen as much as you can. And if you're pulling your pelvis up with you, you're not getting that length. So think of your sit bone, your pelvis pulling down to get a stretch through your hamstrings. You can even think about getting space underneath your back to keep your pelvis down. Oh, that changes the stretch, right? So holding it here, I want you to point and flex. Point and flex. And you'll be able to feel how this works, different fibers through your hamstrings. Let's go ahead and keep going. Pointing and flexing. Good. Okay, so now I want you to keep your foot flexed, and I want you to rotate through your leg. So it looks like this. It's kind of like Mary Poppins' feet. And you're going to pull in, and this is another fabulous stretch through that SI joint area. It's uncomfortable, but if you pull your leg out to the side or rotate through your hip, and then pull back, you get that stretch. Awesome. How you feeling? Okay, let's take this leg across the center. So hold on wherever you can. I like to hold the inside of my foot, but if you can't do that, you just hold on where you can. And I'm going to keep this leg where it is and come across. So again, a great stretch through the outside part of the hamstring and through the hips and through that back. A lot of people will come over to the side like this. Not the point of this stretch. We want to stretch through these muscles here. It makes it very different. Whew. Deep breaths. It's almost like you're holding your legs like you've got to go to the bathroom. You're squeezing tight through your inner thighs. Okay, now we're going to take the same leg out to the side. Again, trying to keep the pelvis still. Taking your leg out to the side. Can you see me? So again, a lot of people will come over like this, but if the pelvis moves, you're not getting the best stretch. So keep your pelvis down. All righty, how do you feel? Let's do the other side. So first pull your knee in, rock side to side. Now hold on where you can. Keep your pelvis down, don't let it move as you extend your legs. If you want, you can even get that extra pelvic tilt for a deeper stretch. So that's what I'm going to do, getting a little space under my back here. And I want you to flex and point. I'm really tight behind my knees today, so I can really feel that as I flex my foot. So you may find that as you flex, you can't pull back as far, but when you point, you can pull back further. So go ahead and play with that. Good. Breathe through it, right? Relax. Okay, now I want you to flex your foot, turn it out. So your heel is in, your toes are out, and then pull in. Yowza. I feel that. You guys feel that? Hope so. Deep breaths. Okay, go ahead and grab onto your leg where you can. Bring it across your body. Think of like, I've got to go to the bathroom, squeezing tight. So stretch behind the knee all the way down, maybe even through your hips. All right, let's take that leg out. So keeping the pelvis still, don't let it rock. Take it to the side. It doesn't matter how big this is, yours may be right here. Whatever works for you. We just got to keep those anchor points down so we're getting appropriate stretch. Okay, while we're down here, let's stretch more through those inner thighs. Happy baby. So you're going to hold on either behind your knees or onto your feet, and you're just going to pull your heels and you let your knees hang out. We're just going to rock side to side, opening out through the hips. Good. Now, if you want a deeper stretch through your inner thighs, through your groin area, you take your legs out. You don't have to be super flexible. Again, it may look like this for you. That's okay. And we're just going to hold it here. And I want you to turn your feet in and then turn them out. Turn your feet in, turn them out. So you get a different stretch through different muscles in your adductors here. Good. Let's do that one more time. And hold. You can point and flex. Now let's do a butterfly stretch. Bringing the bottom of your feet together and just let your knees hang out. I don't want you to do any bouncing. I just want you to hold it here. Take some deep breaths. Try to relax. All right, so we stretched pretty well through the back of the legs, through the hamstrings. Let's stretch through the hip flexors, through the front of the legs. How are you guys doing? You getting all those muscles? Feeling good? If you have any questions, make sure you write them down. Okay, so here's how I like to start in this proposal pose. So what I'm going to do is just inch this leg forward and then press my hips forward. And if your knee's bothering you, you can put a towel or a pillow underneath there for some extra padding. But here's a cheat. Can you see how I'm opening out from my hips? So to get the best stretch through the hip flexors, you got to turn your hips. So I like you to think of headlights on your hip bones here. Those are pointed straight forward, okay? Good. So again, no opening out. You can go deeper if you open out, but that's cheating. So turning your hips straight forward. For a deeper stretch, you tuck your toes under and you come up. So lengthening as much as you can through the back of your leg. So if you ever want to do the splits, this is a great way to practice, to really lengthen through your hip flexors right here. If you don't feel a good stretch here, you can make this even deeper by bringing your arms up, even doing a little bit of a back extension. Woo! Yes, this is a great stretch. Okay, so it may look like this for you. You may even just be staying down here, wherever is best for you. So we're working on these muscles right here, stretching through here. Okay? All right, let's do the other side. Okay, so your proposal pose first. Go ahead and inch your foot forward and bring your hips forward. Make sure hip bones pointing straight forward. Particularly this one in the back leg, even exaggerate it. Twist towards this leg that's bent forward. Good, deeper stretch, tuck the toes under, come up. Stomach in tight. A lot of people will take this right into their back. Make sure your stomach is in tight. If you want, bring your arms up. Maybe even a little bit of an extension here. All right, good. Now let's stretch through the quads. So you can do this against the wall or do it on the floor. Let's do it on the floor just because we're already here. So we're gonna bend the right leg and we're just gonna pull the foot into your bottom and then try to lift your knee up from the floor for a good stretch through those quads. So a lot of people will take their knee out to the side. That's cheating. Pull your knees in as you pull your knee up and press your heel in. Squeeze your butt tight. Okay, let's go ahead and switch sides. So heel into your bottom. If you can't grab on with both hands, it's okay. Just grab on where you can. And pull in as you lift your knee and squeeze your butt tight. Awesome. So another way to stretch your quads, it just depends on your knees, is to sit like this, tuck your tailbone under, and press up. For me, that actually bothers my knees. I don't like to do that, but that's an option because that gives you great length through your quads. So that's another stretch. Okay, let's move on into the calves. How are we doing on time? We're still good. Okay, so my favorite calf stretch, I like to have my foot elevated on something. So I'm going to take this little, I've got this little pad right here. So you can use like a stair, works really well. But having your toes elevated and then pressing forward really provides length from the heel down behind the knee. And that's where the calf attaches, so that's where you want to stretch. You can do this against the wall, but for me that doesn't give it as good of a stretch because you can't press as forward as far, so I really like this one. Pressing the heel down into the floor. Then I like to open up through the hips and twist Again, changing the focus of those fibers in your calf as you do these movements through this range of motion. And then to stretch deeper into your calf, lower down into your soleus. Bend that knee of the leg that's pressing, of the heel that's down. Do you feel that deeper? Lower into your leg. More towards your ankle. So that's a soleus stretch. Let's do the other side. So when you're doing your calf stretch, it's important to keep your legs straight so you get length, again, from your heel up through behind your knee. And let's twist through the hips. Good. Let's go ahead and bend that leg for a deeper stretch towards the ankle. Okay, let's do a quick ankle stretch. Just rolling through the ankles. And a lot of people get tight through their shins. I know I do. So I'm going to show you my favorite stretch through the peroneal muscles. So what you're going to do is you're going to lean forward, but can you see what I'm doing with my foot? You turn your foot out to the side, like lifting up through the bottom of your foot. So lean forward, and you don't have to touch the floor. And then just press out through the inside, through the outside of your leg. You should get stretched through here. Do you feel that? So I need this stretch a lot. Okay, good. Let's do the other side. Turning the bottom of your foot up. Good. Just hold that. All right. So I think that was a pretty comprehensive full body stretch. Good, Rebecca. I'm glad you're feeling good. So anybody, before we go, any questions? Any body parts you feel we missed? Anywhere else where you're feeling tight? Go ahead and write them below. And I was thinking that another day, I would like to use a foam roller. If you don't have a foam roller, I suggest you invest in one. They're not too expensive, and they're great for stretching because there are parts that are hard to get an effective stretch. So on another day, we'll do a foam roller stretch session, and maybe do a workout too. There's so much you can do with the foam roller. Okay, so I don't see any more comments. 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's call it a day. Thank you so much for joining me for the stretch session. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and share it. I'll post it on my Facebook page, and I hope you have a great day. Again, thanks for joining me. Awesome. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.